Welcome to the stream. This is Ohio Esports for the Overwatch 2 competitive ESC. I'm Calvin, as my co-host.
George.
And today we are, like I said, playing Overwatch 2. Kind of a big day for the game and the team itself. It is the team's final regular season game. They're, I believe, 4th on standings right now, right before going into the tournament. And Overwatch 2 just released Season 4. Came with a lot of big changes, quality of life changes for the game, comp, how that all works. So we got a lot to break down here before the really game gets going on. But, George, who do we play today?
We are playing against, I believe it's NEU, Northeastern University, over in Massachusetts.
Oh, you even know where they're from. They're Massachusetts, really?
Yeah, we did a little bit of research, right?
Just a little bit, I guess.
They're sitting tied for first, along with Ball State and Miami. We are secured for our bracket spot as 4th seed. But the one thing we can do tonight is knock them down a peg and break that tie.
That is true. We could play spoiler and break the tiebreaker. I'm looking at it right now. So Ball State, NEU, Miami, all coming up there on first. All 10-1. Ohio University coming in 4th, 9-2. Buffalo coming in 6-5. So as he was saying, we are guaranteed the 4th spot. And correct me if I'm wrong, but is it top 8 going in the tournament?
I believe so. It's either top 8 or top 6, but I think it's top 8.
So it might be top 8. So we are confirmed to be top half of the bracket. So we'll be playing lower. Grand being 4th, that only really gives us 5th. It doesn't give you the biggest advantage in the team that you play, but it is something still pretty good right there. And now you have the schedule right there on the board. Did any of the top teams playing each other? Miami's playing, Ball State's playing. No, so none of the top 3 are playing each other. It would have just been Miami and Ball State. That'd have been an interesting game. Bowling Green State ended their season a little early, having a bye week this week. Any interesting games for you, George? Anything you'd like to see out there?
I mean, like you said, right, we see all of our big contenders kind of fighting teams that haven't been performing as well this season. So I think it might just be more interesting to see some of those lower seed kind of teams fighting off, maybe fighting for contention in the bracket.
That is true, yes. Let's see. Can we go back to the standings just so we can kind of get a look? I didn't get a great look at the bottom of the teams right there. See who's fighting for what. If we got anyone who's just on the edge of top 8 and really need to try to get in there. But as we wait for that to go up, there we are. So top 8, Bowling Green doesn't have the win, and so it looks like it is pretty much set for top 8. But we do have a 3-way tie at 5th, so that could be interesting to see, especially get a tiebreaker. That really depends. Are you going to be playing the first? Are you going to be playing 2nd seed? Is the best, the worst you can get, and the best you can get is 4th seed for those 3 teams there. So a little bit on the line there for Buffalo, Kent, and Western Michigan as I play today, but nothing as interesting as a contention spot for the tournament. So the teams whose season will continue have been decided. Teams whose season will end have been decided for a while, actually. 3 of them are 1-9 or worse.
Yeah.
So their season might have been decided a little earlier than some of the other ones. But as I was saying, we are heading into a new season, Season 4. First couple things, George, did your rank get changed at all? Did you get a little boost? Did you go up a rank at all? Any personal gain for the new system?
I got pushed down.
You got pushed down?
Yeah.
Oh, I should have asked. So you go to like Plat 5 down?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yep.
I went up, so I'm like, ooh.
Oh.
That's why I was happy. That's why I was asking, because I was so happy. But I was like, I went Plat 2 to Plat 1.
So close.
I'm fighting for that diamond. I literally, It was my tank spot. I haven't played tank in like 2 weeks, because like it's the end of the season. I don't want to do this. Like the end of the season, the matchmaking is not the best. People are either playing to like D rank or like they're really trying to grind. It just isn't the most fun. So I haven't played tank in a while, but I'm really happy. I'm gonna get back on that, get on the grind, really try to hit diamond. George, I don't even know what you play. So I like playing tank a lot. I play support on the side too. Because like if I play tank and I play support, I know what my supports think when I play tank, right? So it's like
true.
Every time I play support, it's training for tank. That's my mindset. It's just practice. So who do we got? George, who do we got?
I don't know. I play support because it's a little easier for me, right? I'm playing like Lucio. I'm playing. I'm in lobbies where I can play Moira and still win. So
nice, yeah.
that works
medals,
out,
baby.
Yep. I will say, though, unfortunate, one of those kind of small changes that I saw that nobody ever talked about, Ranked Mystery Heroes is gone. They took that away.
They took Ranked Mystery Heroes? I didn't even look.
They took that away.
I only did play a couple games, and I did get to the point where it was like, it was either, I think I got swept 3. It's like the other team gets a Mercy, and you're just done, right? If there's a Mercy who you guys can't kill, and I'm always like in team chat, like begging the guys, please just solo ult the Mercy. Solo ult the Mercy. Get the Mercy out, and just Oh, you really got to change your mindset for Mr. Heroes. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to like 4-stack, 5-stack with it. I think that would have made it a lot more fun. But I solo queued, which is already a bad idea, right? Solo queuing. And then I solo queued Mystery Heroes, and no one talked. It's just the worst combination of everything, especially going in for that. But were you a fan of Mystery Heroes? You were like big into it?
I hit Plat 1, so
You're
I was
Plat
doing
1
good.
Mystery
That was
Heroes.
the highest
All
rank
right,
I've ever
all right.
hit. So
Did you get all the comp points for that?
I think it was like half. I don't think they give you nearly as many for like Mystery Heroes, which is upsetting. But they give you like another half. It was like 2 different sets of.
Oh, one for roll queue and then one for. All right,
Yeah,
a little bit of a double dip
get a bonus.
by you
That's
over
cool.
there.
Yeah.
All right, now let's get into the meat and butter of season 4.
Those big changes they actually talked about.
Now there's some really big changes. You know that the will effect coming forward, not just George and I. So you want to head it off, go through. You want to start small, work big, or work big, go small.
Let's start small, work big.
Start small. Okay. What's the smallest change that we saw in this season?
I think smallest change award has to go to Sombra.
I didn't even know she had a change. Yeah,
She can cancel May's ult. So now her EMP ult cancels
the bot. Like if it's like mid,
even while it's out.
Well, it's out. So like if I'm frozen and then EMP goes out, I'm unfrozen.
I don't think it unfreezes you. I just think it stops
the freezing.
The freeze in effect.
They've been giving her a lot more ult cancel opportunity. I know they gave her for the Orisa. The Orisa's ultimate goes down. May too. Yeah, that's a pretty small change, but like if they just keep creeping on more ults for her to cancel, it is going to be a pretty unfun hero to play again. Even more unfun, I should say.
By season 6, we see the nano cancel. You know, it's gonna be big.
Everything gets canceled immediately. All right, so smallest. What's step up with Sombra? Who do we got?
I think we'd have to go with both the tanks, right? Reinhardt had 50 of his armor taken away and 25 health gained. So he really only lost 25 health, or like 25 armor, I guess, kinda.
So he's now 600 HP, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so a little bit of a number shift for Reinhardt, just to like make I didn't think he was in a bad spot. I don't know.
Yeah, they were saying the overtuning with like the fire strike and like all the stuff they had done previously kind of like put him a little above. So they were like, we're gonna take some of his health away.
All right, I guess we'll I don't know, keep our ear to the ground on that one. I'm not sure how much that will impact the play.
And
So, all right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. We can jump into some of the bigger stuff because I don't know when this game is going to start. So,
I mean, I'm looking at
got
the
some
lobby
time?
right here in front of us. There's not a single OU team is in there, so we might have a little bit of time.
All
Just
right,
keep
well-
slowly working your way. What's next?
Yeah,
What
let's
we
go
got?
with Sigma then. Sigma's Accretion, the big rock he throws. Ironic because that's kind of our space opera theme for season 4, all set in space. His rock got a change, I would say. I think the damage is reduced by about 20, but the foes are now stunned from 0.8 seconds to 1.1 seconds. So it's putting them on the ground a little bit longer, which we'll see kind of moving around either like ults that are channel ults, right? Easier channel or easier cancel on the channel, or ults that are like continuous, like Roadhog's ult or
I didn't even
Winston's
think about
ult.
that. Yeah, it'll
gonna make it
really mess
easier.
with those because it'll down longer. And since they took the damage away, his one-shot ability is no longer a thing. He cannot accretion and then left-click immediately. So that's kind of that's a pretty big change. It's pretty like the basic tech of a Sigma player. So now they kind of have lost that.
And same thing with that, moving one-shot capabilities. Cassidy's mag grenade had damage reduced by 11, so it now only deals 120. So if you throw it and then body shot, if I remember correctly, they said it's not going to kill because they say he's supposed to be kind of doing longer range kind of stuff is where they want him, or in the mid-range. But
So
they
then why
reduce
give
his
him
health.
the mag grenade though, which is such a short-range thing, right? It's like you say one thing and then your actions are a different thing, right? What small indie company.
They got to get us in that room. I'll tell you what.
I know exactly. I don't know who I mean, granted, they're probably doing a lot of work about this, but like the community has some ideas, and some of them aren't bad. Some of them are pretty bad. Honestly, a lot of them are pretty bad. A lot of them are. I won't go with that. All right, we got a couple big ones. How much? I think a lot of people got touched this season.
Yeah,
so.
there were 4. The only 4 left were the 4 supports. We saw Ana got a change. Had her sleep dart on tanks now, doesn't stun for as long. so she'll be putting people up a little bit easier. I think the biggest ones we saw were that Mercy change, where she now is encouraged to fly in straight lines, and Brig, where her ult is now a big shield that can stun enemies.
Oh, the Brig change, man. Ugh.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are not excited about that. I'm interested to see Brig. I have a feeling someone's going to play her. I think, I don't know, I haven't really seen any used comps, what they're looking like, but I think I'd like to see it from someone. I know you ain't going to run Brig. OU's really not built for that. But Brig, big change. Can you go a little bit more in depth on that? What happened? What changed? What does it do? How's it going to affect the game? What makes this scary as a change?
Okay. So, well, it's big for a couple of reasons, right? We've got the shield. It's so much bigger now. It's going to be stunning people, so it's going to be pulling people out of ults. It's going to be taking more health in addition to her healing around her. So it's just kind of like going to be kind of taking care of all those dive comps. It's going to be kind of stopping them like it did back in Overwatch 1. The Brig stock's just kind of like shooting up.
As you say, your stock shooting up, you think a lot. We'll see. So ESC rules, the changes implemented will be viable, except Lifeweaver, right? Lifeweaver can't be playing comp for 2 weeks, right? Or like a little grace period. So we won't see Lifeweaver until finals, really. I mean, semifinals next week. We might see quarterfinals. We might see him a little bit make an appearance in semis.
Yeah.
You think he'll make a median impact?
I think so. I think we'll see him. You know, speaking of changes, look behind us.
Oh, they don't have the camera on us. Wait. Now they do.
There it is. Look at that.
That is directly behind George and I's shoulders. George, what's going on there? You want to go? You want to give the spiel? You want to go? What's going on?
Well, I only got a little bit of the spiel, but I know that we have received a sponsor from PNC. They're going to be sponsoring our esports teams.
That is true. PNC is one of our very first sponsors, as you can see here. The wall of, I believe, where the sponsors will be, all empty except PNC. So one of our first sponsors, we are very grateful for it. George and I are. Everybody in the back and the production team is as well. And everybody on the teams behind us right here. I'm trying to point my hands in a direction by looking in my reflections. But the teams right there, the teams we don't see, the teams we play, everybody will have an impact by the PNC sponsorship. And we're looking forward to it, honestly. We're just going to have a lot of good. But we have one more announcement. The Twitter. The Twitter is, I think, 993 followers. The team has been working pretty hard on that. Advertising outside of the student union, right on top of Baker, right near Court Street. Trying to do anything they can, giveaways, anything to get this account to 1,000 followers, and we are close. So if you're watching, you have a Twitter. Hey, was it at Bobcat Esports, right?
Yeah, it's at Bobcat Esports.
At Bobcat Esports. Keep you updated on all the games being played. Got some funny pictures going on there. You'll see a bunch of forehead cams from our Overwatch team. I remember seeing that up there. Announcements about what teams are playing. Announcements about different events we have going on in the arena that the Esports Club is hosting. So it's just it's a pretty big information thing, as well as Discord as well. If we have a Discord, if you want to join that for especially announcements, that is where you're going to get a hub of information about what we have going on in the arena. But we are super close to loading in, and I'm excited to look for it. We have our Antarctic Peninsula. Have we seen this? Have we played this before? Maybe
once. I think we played it against, was it Ball State a couple of weeks ago?
It might have been, but this is this control point is a very it's new. I think it's a newer map, right? So it's not fully fleshed out like a King's Row where you have this strategy and this and this and this. You have a whole playbook for the map. Antarctic Peninsula, at least in my mind, it's like it's kind of a wild west of control points where you could throw so much to the wall and see what sticks and really see what's going on. But it looks like we will be close to loading in. I'm sorry for interrupting you. I heard the intake like you were going to breathe.
Please.
I'm so sorry. But it looks like we will be loading in really soon. We do have a little bit of an update. I don't know if viewers will see, but George and I now have an option to go and watch a no clip. So I'm hoping that'll really help me in my play-by-play, give more in-depth of not just what I'm seeing, but the movements as a team in general. And now I'll let you take it away, George.
Thank you so much. I was just going to add on to what you were saying. I think with the fact that it's a cap point map, it's almost like three maps in one. So you've got to come up with all these independent strategies for each one. You're going to see different characters coming out on different maps because they might work better with the way the walls interact or the way, certain areas are better for certain ults. So it's a little bit harder with these maps, like you were saying, like King's Row, where it's like one map. it's got kind of the same feel all the way throughout, whereas this is like 3 entirely separate maps, entirely different points. I mean, some of them have top areas, some of them have open ceilings. You never know what you're going to be seeing. But we know what we're going to be seeing loading in here right now. Onto, which one is this?
We will see. Oh, nope, wrong one. Sorry, it's a new system. We're working on it. I'm pretty sure we had it set up an hour before stream, so we are working on. But I don't know what it's called, but it's the yellow one. Big skybox, a lot of walls. The point is kind of in this little secluded area, but you know, this one's a pretty good period. This one, I feel like, oh, my mic is droopy. I think Brig. Brig is a control point character. I think with the changes, the stun, basically making her a tank with her ultimate, I'd love to see a Brig, and immediately we switch into basically a 1-to-1 matchup. Both teams like insta-locked. Oh, they heard me wanting to see a Brig in action because I haven't played against a Brig in my games yet. So we have, I'll just say our lineup, and I'll just see the changes. Oh, all right, these are backwards right now. The production, the things are backwards. Ohio University is red, guys.
Correct.
All right, cool. Looks like we're getting that fixed right there.
Awesome.
Looks like we pulled them out for that.
Oh.
Okay, I'll fix my mic. George, talk.
Oh, please. Yeah, so we may not be on that first, that crane map after all. I mean, like you were saying, we kind of saw these
mirror matchup, really. I think the only difference was an Echo and a Sombra.
Yeah, it was relatively the same, which is unique for new patches, but I think other than the Brig, Mercy getting those weird changes, not a lot really changed. I think that seeing that switch, right, sometimes we see the Cassidy, but I think that you're just not going to see him as often now with those little damage and health changes. You'll just see more of the Sombra or the Mei or the Sojourn or somebody else that can fill his place a little better.
A little better than me, yeah, because the Mag Grenade was kind of his reason for being in. Obviously, his High Noon was there. It's a very good zoning tool. If you use it with a Suzu, it's an invincibility. You guaranteed a free shot. But I like you said, I think there's just characters who are going to be better able to fill that second DPS role. I think Sombra especially. I think Ball has been pretty prominent. A lot of dive. Ball, Winston. I saw them. They were scrimming earlier, and NIU was playing Winston. I think just a Sombra in general is great against the dive. Really, boom, you're in, you hacked, and you can't get out, right? So it's really good for that. But you wasn't locked in on the ball. They were locked in on the Echo. Had Akusora playing the Echo. A little bit of that's the only difference between these two teams when you load it in. What's Echo bring to the table? A little bit more of a dive capability, George. Like what's the coach's thoughts behind that lineup?
Well, if only I was a coach. I think it brings kind of this versatility, right? We talk about Echo's ultimate, allowing her, not only could she fly, right, during, at 10 small cooldown, 5-second, 10-second cooldown.
It's a very small cooldown. She's able to fly almost immediately, and like it feels like almost immediately.
Yeah, so she's diving all the way in, and then she can, with her ultimate, choose any of the enemies, which in this case typically line up with the allies, and now have 2 of those ults. You know, you can have 2 Hammond ults on a control point. You can have 2 Lucio ults. That's so much health. You can have crisscrossing Kiriko ults, so that allows you to kind of increase this whole point coverage with your boost. So when you're seeing mirror matches like this, it's really kind of interesting to see that Echo, because you know you're going to be getting double the ult.
Mm-hmm. I think Akusora is the perfect guy for that, though. He plays so many different DPS heroes. I think, especially when the team just kind of having fun against no offense, but a lesser skilled team. He plays everybody. I think he plays everybody really well. I know everybody on this team is versatile. I mean, they're all great players. At some point in Overwatch, you just happen to be good at everybody. But I think Akusora really kind of shines in his ability to kind of flex around on that DPS role. Once again, no real changes from the teams. Both loaded up in the exact same. We have Ohio with the Ball, the Tracer, the Echoes we were talking about, Lucio, and the Kiriko. I'm sorry. Well, I'm interested to see the Lucio play in particular between these two teams. How does Lucio's utility with his speed boost, his healing, obviously his healing output, it is large, but it's not very fast. It's not like you're going to be relying on that. So I just kind of want to see how his utility works and how everything will be going on with these two teams. Just how the different Lucios play and if the style plays pretty well. But immediately we got going on Crazy Man G and the Ball both trying to get on that high ground. That seems to be the most popular approach for the first point of this game. Akusora trying his best to see what we can do. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting locked in by the no clip view. It looked actually really cinematic there. I'm sorry, but we got Slow right in the backline by himself. Crazy G trying to go for the Sombra, is hacked on point, getting a lot of damage there. Uses his shield to be able to do a lot what he can do. I believe he's on the side backline. Tracer and Ball go down, get the Sombra, but Akazor does go down as well because Benji really low, has to back out of the fight and lets Northeastern cap first. Tracer is left alone on point. Kuna cannot get the one clip for the Kiriko. I'm sorry, backs away, but Kuna on the point himself. Was going for the flip, but got pressured into leaving him. Crazy Benji in a ball, got a 1v1 situation. Can we get a boop off? Boop is off, but it looks like he got tethered. We'll not see, but he will be out of the fight for a little bit now, as that's going to take quite a long time for you to get that. Then we see the ball does go down right there. Sombra gets brought down pretty low. University is ahead in their tank matchup right now. They really have to capitalize on this. Kiriko is really low, but uses Susan. He uses jump to really make sure she's staying alive. Sombra does not have translocator, but Crazy Benji is hacked in the backline. Kuna trying his best to get rid of this Kiriko, but Kiriko is valiant. University was able to flip point to University, just trying to let's get out of there. We got good enough. Akasura switching to the Sombra, so now we have a one-on-one matchup. No differences and changes right there. Wow, whoever's running this is doing a cinematic job. Okay, back to it. Once again, I'm easily distracted. You're seeing right there. Just look at that.
It's absolutely beautiful. It is gorgeous.
I'm unfortunately not be able to see like the silhouettes there between. Akasura almost gets booped off the edge. Able to use the translocator. Crazy Benji trying to get a second boop, almost gets it, but unable to really finish the job. NEU was able to flip point that fight. Unfortunately, Ohio University going to really just have to worry about that creeping percentage, as they have to look like back away from this fight and wait up for maybe the Kiriko to get back into it. Let's see what we got going on.
This is an incredibly aggressive fight, right? We're seeing like there's the
Slow immediately going there.
Yeah,
Slow immediately getting the ball right there. Kiriko brought down pretty low, able to jump out of there right there, but Kuna right on her tail. Looks like he is able to stay alive. So we got a Tracer duel as well going on around point. NEU is able to keep it from there going on. There it is. Ohio University has finally switched the point, so they can worry about this fight a little more. Kuna, Water, Aquasor all gets the kill. Ball has finally made his way back to the fight, but a little too late. University seeing what they can do to try to stagger him as much as they can. They're really in there, but looks like Lucio is able to get him speed boosted out back towards the spawn. Going on, Crazy Man G making his way back to point. We got Frisco, the other ball, making his way towards that high ground. That little walkway right there is just so popular for this first attack because it's not as big of a choke as everything else seems to be. Akasora has EMP built, NEU has 4 ultimates built, and Ohio has 3. We're going to see the meme fight where it just says, show a newcomer this, and can they know what's happening. EMP coming out from both teams right there. Continuing Rush coming out from both as well. EMP coming out from both. So much is going on, like I just said. Ohio University is able to get 3 right there. I'm so sorry. Kiriko does go down. Crazy Man G is stuck, but looks like he has so much health. Gets the opposing ball. Still has not let NEU flip the point. Couldn't able to finish off the job on Tracer and Ohio University. Won that fight. They did not. They were able to do a pretty. They only used 2 ultimates there compared to NEU's 3. So it's a really good fight for Ohio University as we are coming up slowly but surely towards 100%. NEU is only going to have beat drop. They're going to have minefield pretty quickly, but Pulse Bomb does come out. Looks like we were unable to get anybody with that, but Ball is brought down really low. Slow able to finish the job right there. That's going to just slow down the attack of NEU even more. They have about 10 seconds left to really try to contest this point, but they're just going to have to wait. Plenty of ultimates on the board for Ohio University. Looks like the beat drop coming out right there, trying to keep his team alive to get towards point, and he's going to try to make it. We in overtime. We do. Minefield coming out right there, just a little bit of residual damage. Unable to get anybody, but I wonder if anyone was really affected by that. Pushed off. Chris Manchi unable to get the boop due to the Kiriko, but Kiriko is getting pressure right there. Water does go down to Hedwig. That is a big. We got 2 down right now. It is 1-1, especially with the support. Sombra is really low for Ohio University. Kuna is really low. Everybody is really low. Who is going to come out with Hedwig? Able to get Kuna with the whatever. I'm sorry.
Please, you've been going for so long. Oh my gosh.
Hacking is going on. I mean, they're not stopping. Ohio University seems to be kind of going right there. But Frisco, using his mines, is able to flip the point. Ohio University barely unable to get that. Getting that ultimate for Wrecking Ball was huge for them. Able to get 2. I mean, everybody was so low for so long.
I think that's the longest team fight I've ever seen in any Overwatch match ever. That was 3 straight minutes of constant action. And I think you're entirely right. We saw so few ultimates coming out from Ohio. But when we see these ultimates, it's everybody throwing out ultimates at the same time. Here comes the
EMP
ultimate
coming out from Akusor right there, trying to get the Kiriko, but unable to do so before he gets the abilities back. Is that overclock coming out right there for NEU? Looks like it was not. Hedwig does have that built now. NEU is the team with the more of the ultimates. We do see Beat drop coming out. Hedwig does get slow. Well, Ohio University now the team on the ropes right now. Crazy Man G does get Pulse Bomb, able to get the kill right there. It is only Akusora left. He has to get the point, but he's getting booped and killed. And Ohio University will drop that first point after really close. Really dang close.
Absolutely incredibly close. I mean, I can't imagine anything close than that, right? It all just kind of came down to those ult usages. We saw.
I could say almost. I think it did come down to all usages. I'll put whatever career I've built here on that. that was ult usage was so important, so critical to how keeping that point alive. Frisco using his minefield. I don't know if it was right placement, right time, or whatever it was, but just getting those 2 kills as his team was on the ropes was huge.
Absolutely, I couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, we saw the first fight, right? Everybody's building up ults, and then NEU throws out a couple, Ohio throws out fewer, so they win the fight. And then they're able to come back. NEU comes back, and Ohio, now out of ults, just kind of wasn't able to keep up with them.
Crazy Man G kind of lurking in the back. He really wanted that boop off the edge, but did not give himself enough grapple to do so. He's just kind of toying with the Northeastern right now, just staying out of line of sight. He's standing there menacing, you could say, but NEU looks like to be the team that first really had to go for the point. Akusora switching off the Sombra towards her name, Sojourn, I'm sorry. The Sojourn, but really low. High University has put a lot of damage on Slowo, getting a little too aggressive there. Gets not headshot, but gets body shot by Hedwig, gets brought down. High University able to flip the point and really put the pressure on. Frisco looks like he's backing out of the way. Kunigin, Woe, looks like Woe was really low. There's only took a couple shots from Tracer at that distance. Does not do a lot of damage.
Not at all. And we're seeing now kind of Ohio University fighting off the point, kind of pushing further into their spawn, trying to see if they can get something here. Ult
I don't think I've ever been on this part of the map before. I'm sorry. I just had to say it. I was looking and I was like, dude, where is this? Like, yeah. I'm sorry.
No, please. I mean, it's foreign, right? You're always fighting on your side of the map. So when you're off over there, it's absolutely foreign to see. But Crazy Man G loving to be off sides there. We see a quick headshot from Water. Going to take out Woe.
Crazy Man G brought down really low, has to get them healing from the Lucio as he can, as Water is currently preoccupied trying to get a headshot. But that's just something, as a ball, you have to do is you have to be able to survive when you do not have a lot of healing. As you can see with these 2 team comps, no offense, Kiriko and Lucio, not that good at healing.
Not at all.
Not the best, all right? It's not the worst. Kitsune Rush does come down. University really wants to try to lead on the amount of percentage right now. Not the flip on. We've had this fight go on this side of the map for a while now. Both Kitsune Rushes come out. Akusora able to kill, but Akusora does go down. It's still 1-1. Mindful going out. Well, Ohio University is investing into this fight. Beat drop coming out as well. Pulse Bomb going out. Ohio University looks like to have lost this fight. Let's see if Crazy Man G just gonna hop on point a little bit, just see how many percentage he can get. NEU has yet to really flip point, so I mean, any percent's good. You know you lost this fight, but how much can he prevent from flipping? It looks like we might be able to reach 80. Crazy Man G will go down there, and 80% for the first fight, subsequent thereafter without any flips. That's pretty good for Ohio University, but they need to now they need to actually play the attacker instead of the defender, which I think is just slightly harder on control point.
Yeah, it's harder to kind of jump on there because everybody else is already set up. I mean, we saw them take the 65 plus the Crazy Man G15. It's only going to take really one team fight plus maybe some kind of good stagger to really close out this point. Like you were saying, we saw High University really invest hard into that last fight, and losing that is going to set them behind a little bit, trying to build back up all the ultimates they're going to need to take on NEU.
Solo does go down to a headshot of the overclock right there. Akusora brought down to 2 health as well. Frisco getting the kill on there. Hedwig getting 2 with overclock. Let's go. Ohio University's lost. Tracer and Wrecking Ball making their way out right there.
Really close to that flip, though. Really close to that flip.
Really close to the flip, but look at the ults, George. Look at them. Ohio University. Big kind of something I've kind of noticed over the season is ult usage sometimes isn't the best, but against NEU, who's a good team, you're going to have to use these well. You're going to have a good ROI for these ultimates. I'd like to see how we got right now. Pulse Bomb will come out. I'd like to see that on a diving but Wrecking Ball at some point. Kuna Ein is getting brought down really low, having to get out of there, trying to go for the health pack, but gets brought up around the kid. Sticks the ball pretty good right there. Gets a good chunk of damage on there. Ball does go down to a good shot from Akusora right there. Beat drop comes out, but unable. It keeps his team alive for as long as it can. Flip did have for Ohio University. That is pretty big, as even NEU is bringing pretty close to the 8% mark. Again, Ohio University electing to take the fight to the right side of the map, as Akusora and Frisco are just kind of doing their Oscar Frisco. Charisma Energy brought down to really low. We'll have to see how that does. Kuna does get Hedwig. 94, 95%. Ohio University, not a lot of people left alive. Not a lot of damage dealers left to really make sure this ball can't contest for as long as he can, but we just have to see. But he is not making his way back to point. If we can get a boop from no boop available, so Hedwig does get the kill on Kuna. Ohio University is kind of on the back rope right now. They're going to have to wait for the team to go out. Kitsune Rush coming out from both Beach Off, coming out from Northeastern University. No ultimates left for Ohio University. There's going to be a dry fight from here on out. Chris Minji has made his way back to point. Chris Minji, it looks like had Minefield at some point. Looks like they are being used. So trying to get the Lucio. Lucio brought down to really low health. Suzu actually brought alive. And Ohio University, I feel like in this fight cannot let them flip. Letting them flip would just be so detrimental. 2 picks right there. Water does go down. Tracer's brought down really low for Northeastern University. Kiriko does got balls left. One left alive. We do have Pulse Bomb to try to deal with that. Pulse Bomb is, but missed. Fresco using this again. We see this dangerous situation, but Ohio University able to do it. Dangerous again. Frisco with the minefield on point. And I'm just like, oh no. Oh god, I remember seeing this one time before. But Ohio University able to get the point. Ties it up 1-1 on Antarctic, and we're going to the third control point. I needed to bring a water bottle. Holy.
Yeah, I was going to say, you need water, and I need something. I need to recover after that. That was a intense 2-minute fight in overtime. Just kind of showing you the caliber of these two teams we're looking at here today. Both Ohio and NEU really bringing their A game. NEU especially wanting to try and win this game and keep their tie status. Look for that tiebreaker.
No changes in the lineups for both teams right there, so we do have a complete 1-to-1, and this is the map where I'm interested to really see. This is really close quarters. There is a dedicated high ground on the left side. You see Crazy Man G right there. You see his silhouette. He is really starting there first. That is the prediction of where I believe a lot of these fights will be happening.
You know, a lot of these fights have been happening off points. I say this like every time I'm on here, so I'm sorry if you get bored of hearing this, but all these fights happen off point, especially last point, kind of looking for the fights near the edge so we can look for those boops from the Lucio and Crazy Man G.
I just think it's just a different level of skill these guys are playing at, because I've never played it. I've never been as off point as I've seen from these teams right here. I think it's just a coordination, game plan. Maybe let's get them away from points so they can't flip it if we have to retreat for a little bit for healing, or just the fact of how mobile these two comps are. Like, you don't want to be stuck on point. You want to be able to push. You want to go out there. But NEU is able to cap first. Ohio University waiting for it. Big pick is Akasori, able to get a nice little headshot on Hedwig. There is no mercy, so that pick will be confirmed for the rest of this team fight. Ohio University has to press the W key and get moving right now, as they have the advantage, but let's see how much longer they'll keep it. Kiriko does go down for slow as he uses the boop. Ball using the blender method, just try to stay alive, just try to disrupt as much as he can. Ohio University needs to get this point flip before they get back, but another kill on Timid. The Lucio Tracer is really low, but the ball needs to go. Kuna brought down pretty low. Ball and Lucio down. Tracer goes down there with a headshot. Water with the headshot. 40% for NEU. Ohio University gets the flip. No ultimates left. No ultimates used on the board. Ohio with the first one charged with a pulse bomb for Kuna. Kuna getting an early pick on Kuna and Crazy Man G getting early picks. This is pretty big, as this team fight barely even started and 2 picks are down. NEU almost has no chance for a flip, as they probably are retreating and getting back towards the spawn to wait for the team.
We're going to see Ohio at least break it even here, break up that 38, and probably break some more. I'd like to point out that both of these teams do an excellent job at stalling. I mean, the Hammond, the Tracer, the Sojourn, the Lucio, the Kiriko all do an amazing job of getting onto point at the last minute, getting off, and then being able to touch right before the enemy team can finish the cap. It feels like you could almost hold an entire point like that.
Pulse Bomb coming out first for NEU, unable to get anybody. Minefield going out on 2 points. There's a lot of everything going on, a lot of damage, a lot of insecurities. Woe does pick off Kuna. Kitsune Rush coming out for somebody. Slow has to use his beat chop to keep his team alive, as he saw that his tank was really low. Kitsune Rush coming out from Northeastern University. Northeastern University has Overclock coming out right there, but loses their tank. Water goes down. Water and Akusor are down for Ohio University right now. But it looks like we have the Lucio to heal. But can the Lucio keep Crazy Man G up alive? And he cannot, as Hedwig overclocks and gets 2 points. NEU has 1 left remaining, but Ohio University getting a pretty good chunk, going around 70. Kuna going for a little bit extra percent, hoping to try to get his team towards that 8% mark that we saw be so successful last time. Doing a pretty good job using all of his abilities. Has 1 more blink. It looks like that might be it for him, as his cooldowns betrayed him at the very. Someone hopped on.
Another touch.
Ohio University touching. They're really trying to get this defused. Crazy Man G going for the blender method that we saw Frisco use earlier. Ohio University is full on this point, ready to go. They might not win this fight, but they're going to bring themselves to 99%. They might even get it. Akasor getting a beat drop does come out. Akasor Kuna does go down. Looks like this fight will not be going for Ohio University, but man, did Ohio University bring this 99%. And they're making it interesting right now. Grizzlyman G, Lucio, and Water all been able to just kind of stay alive really, really well, using the blender method, using their mobility. They cannot even hop up for a second. That is probably like a millimeter of difference between flipping this point, and it looks like it will happen right there. Ohio University unable to fulfill the overtime requirement, but brought to 99%, which gives them an immense advantage for when they flip point. It either starts overtime immediately or wins the map for Ohio University. So we'll have to see the game plan for them coming in now as they built 2 ultimates going for that fight. So it is completely even. Pulse Bomb did come out already really early into that fight. I'm not quite sure if that was
intentional or not. I'd like to point out as well, like, that was a really good retreat from them, pulling back and just retreating and resetting up, you know, looking for these picks now.
Minefield coming out from Frisco. Frisco able to get Akusor with a Pulse Bomb coming out as well from Woe, but not able to do too much. Almost slipping for Ohio University. Crazy G stayed on point for 3/4, puts down his minefield right on that point, just so the stall is just that much harder for Northeastern University. He looking to dive right on the Hedwig. Beat drop coming out from Slow, keeping his team alive. Hedwig is getting dubbed by everybody right now. Suzu gets any rush coming out from Northeastern University. Ohio University is close to it. Have to keep that water alive if they want to really keep this going on. Kitsune rush coming out from Ohio University. It's going to stay up longer. And Ohio University does have the flip. They were able to flip it. Have to get the ball. It looks like that might be Ohio University's win. Oh, Tim is able to get there. Get Slow, but Now it is flip position. Ohio University is the one trying to make sure this point is clear. But as you mentioned earlier, George, these are 2 comps that can just hop on point and be a complete menace to you for 4 minutes. I think that's what we're going to see right now. Kuna using his Pulse Bomb to get a healer. That's going to be really big. Lucio there, who's contesting point right now. Ball able to make his way at point, and we know Ball's capabilities of staying alive and going for the Tracer, going for the blender method, as we've talked about so much in this fight, putting something right in the middle. But it is go down. Now Ohio University wins the map. Ohio University able to clear a point and get the first map in a very stressful, and a little bit more stressful map. Ohio University able to come out ahead, or Northeastern University. Now, I know I'm making a lot. I'm not a betting man, but I'm gonna make a bet. Northeastern University's come back with a Kings Row pick. I'm gonna say it. George, what do you think?
Wow. Yeah,
a lot to talk about. All right, take your time, digest it. We do have intermission though, so I like to go wet the whistle a little bit. So give me a little TLDR and what you want to expect coming into this next map.
Into this next map, well, I mean, we know it's Ohio's weakest map, right? They're pretty strong on the attack, but the defense not so much. I'm surprised, honestly, that they're pulling it out this quick. I was more expecting them to kind of hold it for as long as they could, but it looks like they're ready to just reclaim this point. I'd like to see more of the kind of surprise plays we've been seeing from Ohio, just random stalls and showing up where you least expect them to be.
All right, George. Let's head to break. We will see you guys where it looks like, I'm guessing, Kings Row for the payload, for a hybrid, the hybrid point. Welcome back after that quick intermission. So I was wrong, first off, that we going to Blizzard World. Really kind of surprise pick. But we'll get into that a little bit. First off, George, what a map we just watched, right? If anyone's coming in it was interesting. We went all 3 ways on the control point, all 3 maps, and each point was OT, 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 99% both ways, 99% both ways. It was just who can knock who off first. It was it had me going so much. I had to grab a bubbly from the fridge, and I do not like sparkling water, but here we are, man. Because the throat is hoarse. But so, why is Blizzard World kind of an odd pick, George? Can you walk me through that as I take a little sip?
Well, I mean, let's talk about it, right? Kings Row is kind of the bane of our existence. Everybody in the entire conference knows when you're playing Ohio, you go to Kings Row. It's where they don't go. But here we are on Blizzard World, which is a more unique pick for this hybrid map. The only reason I can imagine they pick it is because NEU themselves are not very comfortable on the Kings Row as well, and decide they want to pick something that they're good on, but Ohio is maybe not as good as they are on. But either way, not seeing the Kings Row is definitely a surprise.
That is for sure. I went off intermission thinking it was going to be that. But we do see, again, the same matchup from both ways. Another change. SL33, Slee has been subbed in for Frisco High University. Able to get him out. Going to be putting the W key in full press and going for the team right there. We see if Ohio University can get at least, I'd like to see another pick here right now, because Ball's going to get back to the point really quick, so Ohio University has to capitalize. It looks like it is too late. Slee has made his way back towards, with Ohio University unable to get any pick. And we'll just kind of see what Ohio University's plan is now. Charisma G brought down really low. He's looking to get out of there. Going to run right into Slee in that one building. Looking like they're both going for the same big health pack. And Slee's able to one who gets Charisma G and Tracer, both of our our dive unit, going right there. And Ohio University's going to have to make their way out. Akusora and Kiriko being the 2, making their way out, and it looks like they're making their way to safety. Slowo being really kind of lagging behind with his movement ability, just trying to stay right there. Charisma G bringing his way right back. And it's just so interesting watching 2 balls play each other, because they literally just roll right past each other. It's like, I'll think about you later, but it's more, let's just go dive someone else. But as so far, NEU is doing a really good job of just keeping their backline, their DPS alive. The only person who's died so far for NEU has been their ball in that first fight, but they were able to stay alive, stall, and wait for him to get back. Ball is one. Ohio University does just able to get sleep after using the pulse bomb. Now can we get everyone slow, able to get slow? So it is a 1-1 pick, but having a tank loss is not the same as losing your Lucio. But we'll just have Siaka start able to get the Lucio as well. Have to see Ball is really low. Ohio University cannot keep him up alive. Could not hit him with the Suzu as he was midair. But Ohio University gets 1 tick, going for 1.5. Gets 1 tick before he'll do it. Akusora is able to brought down. Looks like Water. Last man left. Puts his way on point. Just gets a headshot. Couple headshots, a little BM before you decide to teleport out there, but that's going to give Ohio University a little bit of a confidence boost. Let's try to get this point. I think we could do it. Considering rush coming out from NEU and Ohio University right there. Anything else coming out? We do have a minefield for both teams. I wonder who's going to come out first. Slowo it does get picked. NEU has 3 ultimates left on the board. Akazor just built up overclock at the moment. Let's see. It looks like Ohio University is kind of retreating right there. Kiriko does go down. Did not have jump available. Ball's real low. Again, Ohio University is just at this point where he did get that big mega health pack, so really able to stay alive. NEU bringing the healers for their tank. So Ohio University just able to get 1 pick, but cannot follow up with a first or second pick. NEU kind of putting the minefield in a little odd space, I would have to say.
Well, I think they're trying to control that mid-space, right? Because Ohio University is kind of playing this weird middle ground where they're not entirely out, but they're not entirely in either. So just trying to push them either to go to the point or push them back out and force them to regroup and spend some more time on that.
Akazor using his overclock gets 1 on Hedwig, trying to get a second, but Beat Drop did just go down, putting as much damage as he can onto this ball before it goes down. Kiriko looks like to be really low, but looks like able to get away right there. Lucio on point, stalling, but really pretty low. Can Ohio University finish? Looks like he cannot, as I'm sorry. Ohio University uses beat drop. Kuna does go down to Kiriko headshot. Those Kiriko headshots are dangerous, especially for the low health of a Tracer. Hedwig uses overclock, gets to kill himself. Ohio University, again, in this situation, can they get 2 ticks? They are able to get 2 ticks. Going to be a little better for themselves, but 18 seconds, they're going to have to make a rash decision to either get out or stay alive. It looks like it's going to be get out, because they're not going to have a lot of time for this for next push. They have 10 seconds, 9. Ohio University is going to have to just have someone dive on a point, but no one has the health to do so. Ohio University, I'm thinking this is it for them right there. They're not going to be able to make it right to point in time. And there it is right there. And Ohio University able to get about 2 ticks on the first point of Blizzard World, but just unable to do much more than that. George,
I have to say, NEU taking that surprise pick map, I mean, it looks like it's going to play off for them if they know how to capture that first point. We saw both teams kind of playing that same comp we talked about last time, where when they're trying to cap a point, they know how to both comps really good at just like kind of moving on and just kind of barely holding on to that point. But when you're not actually playing a real cap point, when it's kind of this quasi half cap point, being able to stall doesn't really matter as much. And so NEU just doing a better job at kind of controlling the space and being able to force Ohio into areas they don't really want to be. So now we're going to kind of be waiting and seeing if Ohio's going to be able to do the same thing right back to them.
Ohio maybe going for a different pick, but I like to say the comp that Ohio was running, I feel like definitely leans more towards the defensive side. Like, they have a hard time getting you off the point, but they have a great time hopping on the point. And I think that's kind of all she wrote for that first attack for Ohio University was, hey, we can get on point, we can get one kill, but man, are we going to have trouble getting that second, that third, that fourth, or anything more than that.
Absolutely.
So, Ohio University really going for I'd say the odd pick. Junker Queen, I'm sorry. I literally, you were about to say something, and I said it. But Junker Queen is really good against ball. Junker Queen does a pretty good job against ball. I think Brig is going to do a pretty good job against ball. And we get to see Brig play today. I'm hoping it doesn't.
We saw this comp a little bit right before the game actually started when they were doing playing another match off stream. We kind of saw them warming up the Queen, warming up the Brig, and it seemed to be going very well. They're kind of learning how to play around it and how to move around these kind of new characters that they're not necessarily used to playing with. But they seem to know what they're doing. So we're going to go ahead and see here if they're going to be able to kind of keep NEU off the point for the remaining 3.5 minutes.
That's true. We got a lot of time for NEU, but I mean, that same time was a lot of for OU, and they weren't able to do it. So, ain't no reason that won't happen again. Alcazar brought down pretty low on that side. Does get brought down by the Kiriko. NEU is playing such an odd approach where they're just going everywhere and everywhere besides the main squad. Slow able to get a boop off the point fly on the Kiriko, but unable to get much more than that. He's going to have to drop down Kitsune Rush. I thought I heard the voice line. I don't know what I was hearing. But Chris Menchie's going to go down here pretty soon. No one really left to contest point for Ohio University, and that is all she wrote. Pretty cool. Ohio University trying something new. Obviously,
didn't work out.
Just, you know, you can't help them. I mean, they definitely were in the corner, right? The gloves were up, and they were just getting wailed on by their opponents, so they had to try something, right? They had to, mix it up, and I think it just didn't work out, really. NEU takes a point right back, and it's basically 1-1 start of the game. We're going to go to payload, but
yeah,
I'm really interested to see the comp choice Ohio University is going to pick now. Are we going to go back to what we started with? Are we going to try to maybe see if the JQ is going to work more? What's kind of the game plan here?
I mean, I think when you're down and out like that, right, you're going to kind of return to Old Faithful and just kind of see if what you did that first point. Obviously, Blizzard World, an incredible pick from NEU, off of our radar entirely. We expected that King's Row because everybody picks King's Row against Ohio.
That is very true. It was definitely off the radar for this Ohio University team. So, odd pick on our eyes, but turned out to be a pretty dang good one. So, we will just have to see. But all right, we will be heading towards strictly payload here soon. I don't know the exact pools in the map. Wow, I said that wrong. The exact maps in the pool.
It's all there.
Is ESC doing? Is ESC? Do they do the pool, or do they just follow the comp pool that Overwatch set out?
That's a good question, because if they do follow that map pool, they just removed map pools, so they would be able to pick from every pool, every map, right? Because they're competitive. Just removed that.
I think ESC makes their own map pool for each week, but I believe OU behind us is doing a little bit of a talk. I believe we're going to intermission here. If we're going to intermission, cut it off. No, all right, cool. It did not get cut off, so we will be continually going here.
Let's talk a little bit about kind of this environment we've managed to build around us here. I mean, during that first point, it kind of felt pretty empty, and then I turned around, and we have a lot of people here joining us tonight for the last match. Really cool to see some fellow Bobcats.
I mean, it's always good to see people in here. I mean, George, you're here almost every weekend. I'm almost here every weekend. I got some sort of job. They're always putting me to work, so I'm always here for the team. But it's just good to see when you don't got a job, you're in here just sitting down, enjoying the game, enjoying the atmosphere. It's just a fun. I mean, it's a sporting event, but it's kind of a sporting event where you kind of get a VIP seat. It's like, you know,
You're right.
There's nothing stopping you from just going up, sitting right next to the broadcasters, doing anything you can to distract us. Just having fun here, talking to people. And if you aren't good enough for the varsity team, which I know I'm not, the club team is an extremely active group. George, are you a part of that?
I am not.
You are not a part of that. I'm sorry, I'm not. But they are an extremely active group. Once again, on the Esports Discord, they're always active. They always have. They even have an event this Friday celebrating the new season. So go ahead and check that out if you just kind of want to get into the Overwatch, get into esports in general. We're really good. We're a pretty big club. If you Overwatch not your thing, Valorant League, Rocket League, we have a Splatoon Club, Smash Club. We have so many games. There's jokes of a competitive Stardew Valley team, a varsity Stardew Valley team going up, started by Jackson Rush. But you know, it's just pretty fun, right? We're just fun little club. Come on, join us. Companies, if you're listening to this speech, you guys can give us a little sponsorship too. You know, it's not just for the students at OU. It's for the parents watching who run a business.
Well, welcome to all come, please give us sponsorships.
Hey, nothing hurts.
Right. Let's talk a little bit about the communication as well coming from our team. They were very loud, which is a good thing.
I would have to say I kind of played with them. We did a little event with Alexander's Overwatch team. That's a high school, local high school, and so we played. I don't know if it's just because of the high school team, and you know we were able to play pretty well, but we were quiet. They were quiet. I was the tank, and I looked at Slow. I was like, dude, I don't have the spatial awareness Crazy Man G does, right? You're gonna have to tell me if I'm not in your way, man, because I don't have the eyes that Crazy Man G has, where he just knows where everybody is. And so I know Pat talks about it. That's one of the coaches every day. Communicate. He even was giving a little speech beforehand. I don't want you to write a thesis in my voice call. I want you to write a sentence. You know, I want to write that hook. You know, get me into it. Give me the information and give me listening to what you're saying. I think that's kind of always been a focus of this team as we head to Junkertown.
So this isn't all that strange of a map for us to kind of see. I mean, I think we have a relatively good record here. As we're kind of seeing Ohio doing, yeah, I mean, a great job. This is one of those maps where we do a great job kind of rolling around across ceilings and just in areas you don't expect. The Widow Duel here starting off.
Widow Duel coming up, but Crazy Man G just having to butt in there and get the Widow away from that position before we could do anything much. I was kind of ducking my own right there because, you know, the shots were inches, millimeters away from the heads of everybody. But Northeastern is super spread out. I don't see really a cluster more than two of them. Ohio University really kind of matching that.
I mean, it seemed to work for them the last point, so this could be some kind of adaptation we're kind of seeing from OU, trying to figure out what to do when they're only encountered with one or two people kind of surrounding them, if you will.
That's true. Kuna able to get the pick on Woe. Crazy Man G making his way towards the Widow. Widow can lock down a first point if they are pretty good, so that is always something to be worried about. Akusor sitting in the back line, trying his best to try to get the Zenyatta out of the fight. Zen's Discord Orb will be huge. Kuna again got the kill on the Tracer and immediately waiting for the Tracer to come right back. Needs gets a headshot on Akusora. That is a Widow, as we said. Widow can be so dangerous on this first point. Solo and Akusora, let's go down. That's what I'm talking about. This is such a spread out defense, such a spread out attack. Like, I'm just not quite sure what's the goal here. I mean, maybe force a 1v1 and get the 1v1 working. Like, do you I don't know, George. You got any insight? I don't know.
I mean, there are a couple approaches here, right? I think we're doing fine so far. We've pushed it about halfway, but now we've kind of moved off the point into kind of trying to get a pick, trying to get a kill in this really wide open field of just space that NAU has managed to occupy. There's the pick. 2 picks we were looking for. Unfortunately, Crazy Man G does go down, though.
Crazy Man G did go down at the very end. Slee using his minefield to keep the point away from Ohio University's hands. Akusora taking his time, just trying to make as many of those away from he can. Kuna looking for a fight. Gets it from Woe. Gets it from that. Crazy Man G is back in the fight. No, he just has a lot of help from his own shield. Looks like he had about 5. Zenyatta is in a situation where he cannot get out of unless he uses Transcendence. The Transcendence has been popped. Crazy Man G looks like he's following, waiting, but Timid is able to put himself right out of harm's way. Beat drop does come out from Ohio University. They need to do something. Minute and a half left. It just kind of seems like we've been lollygagging here. Tim is able to get the pick on Kuna. Akusora unable to do much more after that. Trying to get the Zenyatta, but Zenyatta is just, he has some survivability. He knows his position, where he is, where he can't be. It looks like, and he was doing such a good job of just, I don't know if this is stalling, but just being a menace from just like so far away. You put any sort of pressure on that Zenyatta, and Kiriko's right there with the Suzu, keeping it alive. Woe gets down. Woe gets Kuna out of the fight quick and early. Kitsune rush coming out from both teams. My University is slowly but surely bringing this point towards the door, but I have a very low chance I might do a crook. Crazy G is so low, but it looks like he won't really be able to get a lot of healing. Slow-O is diving the Zenyatta. Zenyatta is pretty low, but Slow-O knows the damage capability of Timid, and Timid is able to do what he can do. Akasor does have that ultimate as well. If his team needs it, he can go Kuna using the Pulse Bomb on the Zenyatta. The Zenyatta is going to be big. Ohio University able to get the first point. Hopefully see a little bit more momentum. Getting a couple picks here. Just trying to break NEU out of this like really like slow dragging on defensive style. Maybe force them to, lose a pick or two, stagger himself, really just try to dive into points. Summer coming out for this NEU team, maybe trying to deal with, not Kuna, Crazy G's kind of been a thorn on their side. Maybe that's kind of the goal there. Akusor trying to use his abilities to combo a kill, but Suzu is able to say no. Crazy G going up for the high ground, misses to hit the ledge. Water does go down for the Water. Akusora both go down. The minefield dive by Slee is all that. Slee is all his team needs. Crazy G and Slow making the way out point, waiting for the team, waiting to get back into it. But that was an ultimate. NEU has used. Ohio University kind of leads it right there. Timid has Transcendence, but I'm assuming what we're going to see with his first one, he's just going to be using Transcendence as a means of survival, really. I'm in a bad spot. Let's go. Slow again, not able to do too much. Gets killed by the combination of both supports of the other team. Kuna in his Tracer fight right there brings himself back in a pretty bad situation. Looks like Slee was on top of the big pack that he was once on 3 seconds ago. Now University again has to back up and wait and see what they can do.
I'd like to kind of talk a little bit about as well. You kind of brought up the point that NEU is kind of playing this really slow defensive style, and I think it's a perfect counter to Ohio University is getting one pick and then steamrolling the heck out of you. We're looking at them spreading out so that when you get this one pick, it doesn't really matter as much because all these characters are playing independent of one another. They're playing self-dependent, and it allows them to do whatever they need to do in the moment and work around Ohio getting these picks. So like you said, trying to find a way to make these picks that we're getting actually matter and mean something in the context of the game.
Akasor had built up that ultimate with his own ultimate. He had EMP ready to go, but was just get killed right before. Huge for NEU is that EMP was going to be dangerous for them. But University does have a couple picks right there. Konoe goes down to the Sombra. Akasoro trying to beg his team to get the ball, and looks like he is right there. University making their way towards the second point, just trying to get this Tracer stunned and out of the fight, but Lucio's able to there to kind of speed boost away. NEU has 3 using Kitsune Rush to keep this point going on. Crazy Benji using his minefield to keep them away from it. University is 3 meters away. Will anyone jump on for NEU? And looks like it will. I'm not quite sure who jumps on, but Woe was able to be brought down by Ohio University. Ohio University has the minefield to deal with right there. Slow again brought down by Sombra. A lot of proximity mines on the kill feed right there. Looks like Crazy Benji is able to get clear a few of them right there. Ohio University gets another pick on third. Tim on Q up Ohio University, looks like they will pretty much get this once this ball goes down. Inevitably right there, Ohio University has able to get that second point. That's a great team fight for Ohio University. They had the Kitsune Rush, they had the ultimate on the board, but they were able to stay alive. That's just so big. Crazy Benji unable to get the stagger on Woe as this Suzu Cleanse was able to get there as Ohio University makes their way back towards their payload and move it a couple meters before this next team fight. George, what do you think about the last team fight? What changed there for Ohio University to really kind of show a more dominant fight there?
I think we were just able to get the right positioning. I think this entire time it's felt very awkward. NEU has known how to move around us when and where we want to be, and we haven't been able to really respond to them. But now we've kind of been able to know where we want to be, when we want to be, and how we're going to capitalize on everything. Both the tanks now going down here.
That's true. Now we get to see interesting part. 2 TPS, 2 support. Let's see who could do what. It looks like NEU kind of backing up a little bit. Akasor has this ultimate built up, will be a great stall device if you use Kuna getting the Tracer diff on low, forcing the Sombra out. Slee is able to brought back to far pretty early. Akasor is so low, but Akasor is able to get Slee again, getting back to the fight, but now Crazy Man G is there. Ohio University is up in this team fight in terms of lives and having their tank there. Just putting the 30 on cart, getting the most precious meters that they can, especially on this third point before they finally head towards it. 3 ultimates on the board for NEU. Ohio University has 2, but the EMP has knocked out one of them right there. But Akusora waiting, staying alive. Water does go down. Akusora has his ultimate, does not use it. 20 seconds left. Ohio University is begging their team to get out. Kuna able to get one. Gets killed. Is Ohio University. Crazy Menji is alive. Slow is alive. They will be able to dive on a point. This will be the next team fight coming up. I have a feeling I'm going to be saying a lot of words when it happens.
Oh yeah, get your drink ready because it's coming. I'd like to point out how well Wrecking Ball kind of counters himself here. We've kind of seen a lot of these minefields just being able to go away by him slamming on the payload and getting rid of it. But now here we see multiple ults coming out, right? We see that Kitsune rush
University
water.
investing really into this fight, gets timid. Kiriko is solo on the back line, uses Cleanse Keeper still alive, but Kuna is not going anywhere away. Minefield coming out from NEU. NEU has Pulse Bomb left, but Ohio University still has EMP coming out. Crazy Manji is brought down really low, puts his minefield down. Puts him a couple more health, but he's being so low. Please, someone heal him for me. My University just using the blend to keep himself. Kitsune rush coming out from Northeastern Illinois. Northeastern University. Wow, so much is going on. Crazy Benji, please stay alive. Water unable to do too much. Nobody's able to get there. Ohio University is that 0.1, right? 99 is 100 meters. So they're 0.1 meters away from capping that third point. But just an overall pretty good push. A really a slow start from Ohio University. Definitely a kind of a planned start from Northeastern. Ohio University able to kind of counteract that, push the cart pretty far. Unable to get the third point though, so this is now do or die for both teams to see who can win the map.
I'd like to also talk about a little bit the momentum we've kind of seen between these maps. That first map was super close, and then after that intermission, NAU just came back with a vengeance, right? They knew exactly what they wanted to do, where they wanted to be. Their game plan was headstrong, and they blew us out of the water on that Blizzard World map. But here we've been seeing Ohio kind of trying some different stuff, some different positioning, some different, even a little bit different comps, just trying to figure out where they belong on Junkertown into NAU's comp. And so when we're seeing that kind of ditto or the clone matchup there, both teams kind of playing the same comps, it really does, yes, it comes down to personal skill on those characters, but to an extent it also does come down to where you're able to put your characters, who has ults up at that point, and what you're able to do with those two things in mind.
Oh, exactly. Ultimates, as the name suggests, are ultimate, and they are ready to go whenever. Okay, something was happening in chat, but it was just a high chat so that you guys won't see it. Nothing going on wrong with anything. But we are going here right there. Kazumanji lurking on top of a roof, waiting to wait for the dive. Ohio University really playing like almost any like a laid-back approach, waiting for Needs to come out of Northeastern, putting a lot of making sure that Widow's staying alive. Crazy Manji not letting him breathe, but Needs gets to pick on Kuna before Crazy Manji can get back on and distract the Widow. That is why Ohio University is playing this far back. A good Widow just shuts down this map on this first point, and that's kind of what we're seeing now. They have to play like in fear, really. Oh, Crazy Manji gets beat to the big pack by Slee. Just a little race to see who can get there for a little fight.
Incredibly close. So now we're seeing Ohio, to an extent, isn't really mimicking what NAU did the first point. They're kind of just playing their own game plan. But here we go. Finally, the first team fight coming out, and it seems to work out really well for them.
Yeah, Ohio University gets a couple picks. Akusora able to just barely reach Woe with the beam and gets a kill right there. Just Slee left alive, and he's going to be making his way to point. Unable to get his way towards his spawn. Ohio University wins that team fight. I won't say first, but continuation at first. Kuna does go down pretty quickly. They have a Sombra. Neats has switched off the Widowmaker. A little bit of catching Kuna with his pants down situation. He wasn't really sure. I wasn't aware of the Sombra going on. But Crazy Manji in a bad spot, trying to get the jump. He misses the first jump. Can't hit. He finally hits the second. Brought down such low health. Ohio University. They have to kite out of here. Get out. Wait for your team to get right back. And Akusora, unable to do so, gets killed. Looks like
Kuna's going to go down as well, right? You're going to see 3 people make it out, or 2 people make it out. Slee looking for the extension here, trying to build up ult and trying to just see if he can get any picks, but nothing there. They're going to be pushing it really close.
University going to have to get on if they want to. Crazy Manji just gets on 0.97 meters left, but he's getting brought down to a extremely low health super quickly right there. Couldn't get Suzu to keep himself alive. Crazy Manji brought down. Pulse Bomb going down just right on point. Able to get Needs just off a random little boop. Akusora gets timid as well. Both healers down for this Northeastern University team. It looks like they forgot to the point. Ohio University did not keep a man on point. Northeastern did. Northeastern able to cap the point as we move on to the second. Good hold by Ohio University. Kept it. Was it close to OT? What was the time? It had to be like maybe a minute 30 left on there. I would say.
Yeah. It was. They definitely had some time to play around with. I remember going into the second point, Ohio University was on the ropes, kind of capping the second point. So we're going to see here on this defense whether or not they're going to be able to kind of do the same thing to NEU, or if NEU is just going to kind of roll all the way through. We saw somebody in the back lines there. I'm not sure who that was, though. No, either way.
Watching for anybody that gets brought down to really low health, has used his translocator to get out of there. Akusora trying to combo some of these abilities, get a kill. Unable to do so, gets headshot. Not headshot, but those kunai knives are just so dangerous. And it looks like we're going to be kind of towards your prediction of, looks like, just like Ohio University, just kind of going to be a roll for Northeastern. Ohio University really not showing a lot of resistance, and nor the ability to at the moment.
Yeah, they're capping really, really quick here. That's going to be a lot of time. I think 4.5 minutes on the second point there. Or the third point, the final point.
Just in a weird situation right now. Stayed alive maybe a little too long. He's not going to be with his team for this next team fight. But, I don't know. Summer's a pretty fast character, so we'll have to see what the plan is. There's Slow-Mo just kind of on the side of the wall, waiting. Crazy Man G inside of that room.
Yeah, it kind of feels like Crazy Man G's Crazy Man antics just aren't able to catch NEU anymore. They were able to kind of work on that first point where there were a lot of places to hide and a lot of places to go around, but then when NEU was ready, they weren't able to do it. It doesn't really matter, though. OU getting 2 picks here.
It's the Sombra ball combo able to really come out and shine. It's we're going to hack you and then immediately come after you with the Wrecking Ball, and that's what we saw. Good success for Ohio University. Akusora trying to get the woe, able to do so. Ball on cart. Let's see what we got going on the observer cam. Both balls going at each other, just chasing each other. Kitsune Kiriko trying to get to her teammate to try to get the health alive, but Slee able to go down for Ohio University. Kuna staying in the corner, has EMP. NEU 5. Whoa! 5 ultimates on the board for both teams. We're gonna see it again, where it's like what is going on right now, and I'm gonna not be able to say anything. But this is gonna be an interesting fight, I believe.
Yeah, well,
it's who's going to invest first. That's your Chris Minty got brought down to super low health, super quickly. Kitsune Rush coming out from Northeastern University, Ohio University with a Kitsune Rush to the run. Akusora brought down to such low health. Suzu to stay alive, backs himself out. EMP coming out for Ohio University, able to get timid. Kit's Transcendence out of the fight. Beat Drop coming out as well. EMP coming out as well. Slee gets 2, but I think it's still 2-2 at the moment. Slee using his own ability, area denied, but looks like Slow-Mo will go down. No, that wasn't Slee. That was Ohio University. Ohio University. Is this a Ohio University win or kind of an Ohio University draw?
It feels more like a tie. We have invested so many ults into that fight that even though we may have held them off a little bit longer, they're coming in with 3 ults to our 1, and we are not close to any more.
That is very true. Ohio University wins the fight, but they won the battle, but can they win the war? That is what we'll have to see coming for these next couple fights. They really just got to try to build ultimate as fast as they can, but NEU having their 3 timid, I'm assume keeping his ultimate for keeping himself alive for when he becomes a dive target. So, as you probably just saw right there, I'm pretty sure he was just getting dived. Slee putting himself on the back line, solo ult somebody. Who did he put his ult? He puts his ult on Kuna, but Akusora and following up right there gets a kill. Slow-Mo going down to Woe. Not a lot going on. Crazy Man G is kind of floating around, preventing a lot of the movement. See if he's going to prevent them from really turning this core. Gets hacked as soon as he pile drives. A lot of damage going towards right now. The hack plus the Discord Orb. So much damage. Akusora using his own ultimate just to try to get the hack. Uses his own translocator. Does not get the ultimate from the Echo ultimate itself. Ohio University is down a lot. Minute and a half left. They're a decent amount of meters, but they do not want them to get too close. NEU still has 2. Ohio University's coming up on EMP, coming up on Minefield. Kuna's going to have to be the one to touch here. Looks like no one else. Crazy G and Kuna, it looks like they're waiting towards the last possible moment. Crazy G going to be the first one to touch here. He's hacked at the current moment. I'm surprised in Discord. EMP coming out for Ohio University. Akusora does go down to Slee. Slee switch to the Winston to try to really help him out. EMP coming out as well for Ohio University. Winston coming out, immediately finding him. Do we have the Ana coming out from Ohio University? It looks like it is. Slow picking up on the Ana, maybe to kind of make himself less of a dive target for that Winston. It looks like Ohio University, kind of what you said, being kind of more of a draw. Chris Minty getting a big pick on Timid just to really Winston has come back to join his team in the fight, but losing that Zenyatta, it is still 1-1. There was no ultimates on the board for no, there was one each. There's Kitsune Rush. And the way these two teams have been playing, it's probably just going to be a combo where both of them are just going to use it at the same time. Just who's going to dare to use it first as we approach the 0-second overtime rules. Do we go Winston for the primal range, or is it Winston for another reason?
I'm thinking for the barrier, right? You're kind of able to cover the Wrecking Ball ults. As we counter that, and in addition,
Kitsune Rush coming out from both teams right there. Kuna getting himself out of the fight right before Slow-Mo, putting himself on the island. A lot more healing for Ohio University. A big whatever. He does go down as he is a dive target. Crazy Man G. Someone's gonna have to get to point right there. Winston's super low, but Primal Rage able to stay alive. Akasor uses Pulse Bomb to get a kill, but he's not able to get there. Kuna does not have to make his way to point right there. Does make it. He can get EMP if he can stay alive, but I doubt he will be alive for very much longer. Looks like NDU, after a very close fight, will win Junkertown and go up one map on Ohio University.
Yeah, 2-1 now.
Losing that first Ana to the dive target of Winston was definitely a rough one, I would say. Just losing anybody in a fight that at that time was I'm sorry. It was tough, but I think Ohio University wants that one back after losing that first, after letting them cap that first point on kind of a C9. I think Ohio University kind of kicking themselves. I think that's a map they'd want back. I think that's for sure something they'd want to play again, make a better decision on that one. Little quick thoughts, George, before we go to intermission.
Yeah, I mean, I think we saw a lot of really good ult usage from both teams. We saw a lot of, like you were saying, kind of combo ults and just all the ults dropping at the same time. I've got some other thoughts, but I'm going to save them for after our break. Stick around and come on back.
George, keeping you guys interested. But we will, wait, before we go, follow Twitter. We're really close to 1,000. At Ohio Bobcat Esports. At Bobcat Esports. All right, we'll go to intermission. See you guys in a second. Welcome back to the Overwatch 2 ESC. Once again, I'm Cavanal, and this is...
I am George.
Just running the newcomers coming in, because this is one of our longest streams for Overwatch. Pretty back and forth game going on. We saw Capture Point go to the third map. We're seeing right now it's 2-1 Northeastern University. Ohio University being pushed to the ropes here. They have to win on this push on Coliseo, whatever you want to say. They have to win. It's win or go home, really. So we'll just kind of have to see the game plan, the strats coming out, the individual skill, see who's going to be that guy to get that pick, to get that first pick, to get that second. But George, you want to talk about the comp I'm seeing come out from Ohio University?
I was just gonna say that. What a comp. I was gonna say we're gonna see the switches. I don't think we're going that crazy.
Yeah. They're baiting us here. Ohio University going back to the old tried and true comp that they were going through. The only change for Northeastern University is Neats has hopping on the Genji instead of the Sombra or Widowmaker that we saw him play earlier. Akusora playing far into the air. Fighting on the left side of the point, from just kind of forgetting about the bot as it doesn't unlock for another 10 seconds, but it looks like both teams are backing up and starting to make their way towards this kind of main hallway. G going right for the back of the spawn, leaving his team to try to fend themselves off against the dive. Akusora unable to fend for himself very well, gets picked off pretty quick into this fight. High University kind of bringing themselves on the back rope. G, Slow, both kind of backing himself off, letting Northeastern University get the bot. G put himself right back into this room, right back into the fray, see what he can do. But it looks like there's a target in mind. Like, who are we going to dive? Who are we going to go to? Northeastern University seem to be playing more of a really compact, complete opposite of what we saw from their time in Junkertown. They're playing compact as a team, moving as a unit. Akusora bringing the Genji down to a pretty low. Unable to get him in sight for his beam, but Kuna is 30 health as Tracer inside their backline. Has Pulse Bomb built up already. Puts it out right there. Stux gets two. Slow gets the Tracer as well. Ohio University now is on the attack, and they're just going to have to get Slee, and they do. Akusora uses his ability. Ohio University is going to get bot. I'm assuming they're going to be able to at least get past what Northeastern University has, and we're going to kind of just continually see as we progress what Ohio University is going to be up to, as Ohio University is starting to move the bot their way.
Crazy Man G kind of doing a really good job there, the second on that almost like second kind of team fight, staying back and helping out the team, because we're noticing that it was almost like the two wrecking balls diving into enemy teams, and then whoever dove first and got the first pick kind of just steamrolled the other team. So we're really kind of seeing that was a good job from Crazy Man G, kind of pulling back and helping out the rest of the team to win that fight and defend against the enemy dive there.
It's a fine dance of balance between diving and protecting your team. And Crazy Man G has to walk around that tightrope like no one else here today. Needs gets to pick on Akusora pretty early on to this fight. University only did not get a lot more meters on that right there. Kuna bringing down to pretty low. Crazy Man G trying to use his pummel to try to get anything he can on the Kiriko, unable to do so as Lucio brings his help. Akusora trying to use his ability to get there. Well beats Kuna right there. Well getting out of the way. Recalls right to the point. Slow gets hacked. We do see Neats go right back off the Genji towards the Sombra that we've seen work for him so well today. Looks like Ohio University. This will be the end for this Ohio University. Kind of a little bit of a push. I wouldn't say push, but just a little bit here. Water does go down, so it's going to be a big stacker. Crazy Man G is trying to prevent any movement he can. I'm not quite sure the motive behind it, but he has prevented them from getting as much movement as he can as he kind of goes to rejoin with his team. Shlee is trying to do what he can to make this team go off the high ground, but immediate kill right there as Akusora and everybody focuses their sights on that. Now Ohio University can flip the switch, hit the W key, and try to get as many picks as they can as Akusora gets low. Crazy Man G going for the Kiriko on top of the high ground, but does not have his grapple at the moment. Makes his way up there. See what he can do. Kiriko has maybe someone he can jump to. Slee's already back in the fight for Northeastern University, but Ohio University has been getting positive meters on this bot push right there. Timon does go down as an immediate pick for Ohio University as we go into this maybe third team fight. They are trying to make their way towards forward one. EMP coming out.
Here they come
from Northeastern University. Akusora using his ultimate to pick up the ball. Maybe try to get Minefield to try to do what he can, but maybe just try to stay alive considering Rush coming out as well. Ohio University has Minefield left for Crazy Man G, but I wonder if they'll be come out as they seem to be doing pretty alright with this fight so far. Akusora trying to build up the charge, but looks like he won't be getting an ultimate past his ultimate that he was allotted for his play as Echo, but we do see the proximity mines coming out from both Shlee and Crazy Man G on this bot. A lot of things going on. Shlee's brought down to pretty low health. Kiriko trying her best to heal Shlee as Crazy Man G goes onto that high ground, tries to use pummel, but as Swift steps away. Akusora making his way towards the high ground. Sleeve making the way towards the point. Sleeve once again brought down to a really health, but able to do Neats switches again from the Sombra to the Echo. Now we have a complete one-on-one matchup. We have not seen Neats play Echo at all today, so we'd like to see the difference in there and see what we could do. Could have put a lot of pressure on Kiriko. Just cannot have the ammo to do so, but Chris Benji follows up the pick right there. But Ohio University. There we are. Continuing Rush came out. I thought I heard the voice on, but now we hear right now Ohio University using that, but Water does go down. Water and Kuna going down. Continuing Rush is going to be helping them, but I don't think it'll be helping them enough. I think Ohio University is going to call this fight done deal after this. Slow able to use his movement ability to stay alive for a long time, but not long enough. Chris Benji is obviously still alive on point, I believe. I do not believe for long. It looks like he will be going down pretty soon. Ohio University unable to capture the first point and subsequent forward spawn, as they're going to have to wait a little bit for the team to gather. As that is what we are seeing now. Akusora just flying in the air, being a little bit of a pest for this Northeastern team, as their bot slowly but surely makes its way towards the barricade to start getting positive meters from them. Couldn't going down pretty early by Neats as the Echo.
Let's talk a little bit as well about that Echo switch, right? We've kind of seen NAU doing a really good job of just adapting to whatever it is that Ohio is doing, and it takes Ohio almost 2 team fights to kind of catch up. NAU loses a team fight, goes back to spawn, rethinks everything, repositions, changes characters, comes back out. Ohio takes 2 team fights to catch up, and now they've lost a map, they've lost a robot push, they've lost control of the point, what have you. And we're kind of seeing that here and again. They've almost caught up here now. The bot just continuing to push.
Ohio University really not contesting this bot at all, letting it move, but Northeastern University is not putting a lot of effort into moving that bot as well. They're really focused on winning this team fight and getting as many picks as they can. Ohio University being able to stay alive right now. Pulse Bomb's coming out. Neats is putting a lot of pressure on Kuna right now. Kuna trying to do what he can, but just not a lot of range on those pistols from Tracer at the moment. Woe does go and get Water out from a fight. Chris Benji has been just kind of trolling along this bot, not really letting them push too much. Slow getting the Kiriko. Chris Benji staying on that bot right there, having to deal with Neats on the Echo. Slow does get stuck by the Pulse Bomb, will go down. Chris Benji brought down to really low health and trying to help his team as Neats is really low. Neats does go down, but Ohio University is hurt and limping along, as I do not believe they'll be able to really do a lot. I mean, maybe there is kind of equal amount of picks for both teams right there, but they have to stop this NEU team from getting forward spawn. I think forward spawn is going to be maybe a game winner, a map winner for either team. Forward spawn is such a powerful thing to have, especially on Kalizo. I think forward spawn on Kalizo,
it pushes you so far forward. And we have kind of ults coming up for both teams, but Ohio with the bigger ults almost. Here comes the minefield coming out from Akusora. The Echo capturing the Wrecking Ball, throwing that out. Gonna get a pick on Water. Kuna and Akusora both getting picks. That's going to be tank and support down for NAU. And it looks like Ohio is just going to kind of roll through. The Echo Wrecking Ball is still rolling around.
Yeah, Ohio able to save their Kitsune Rush. Did not match Kitsune Rush for Kitsune Rush. That's going to be a big one coming up for the fight for forward spawn. And NAU is going to have to really try and just drop down if they can. Looks like that's going to be the game plan for Shalik. Chris Benji has Minefield waiting for him to drop down. It is contested at the moment. No, Ohio University is not focused on really. They don't have anybody on bot trying to move it. Now they do. I'm sorry. And Northeastern University is one. Ohio University seems to be the ones backing up and waiting. Really not pushing onto the fight too much. Minefield is going down on the bot right there from Chris Benji. Trying to see if he can find a pick on Timid. Timid going into the room, unable to do that. But Tracer brought down super low. Woe is really low. Able to get the thing. But Woe is. There's a lot of movement going on. But Chris Benji is still alive. Kuna gets a kill on Woe, but I believe Woe and Akusora are both going down. It's 1-1. Kitsune Rush does come out for Ohio University, but it's kind of in a spot where not a lot of people for Ohio University can really find good ROI on that. Ohio University just trying to sneak push the bot towards forward spawn, but that does not go far past Northeastern University, and they are able right on it. Crazy Benji looks like he is kiting away from the fight, does not want to go much longer. Kuna picking up this 1v1 versus Woe, as they've been doing all day. They've been playing one-on-one, trying to see who is the better Tracer. I haven't really been keeping track, but they are adamant on playing against each other most of the fight here. University waiting back, regrouping, letting the bot get push kind of more towards their area, let them play closer to their spawn than Northeastern.
I mean, yeah, we're seeing kind of both teams do an amazing job of just going back and forth, like we were talking about earlier. Ult's coming up. There it is, like I was going to say. The ult from
Minefield and beat drop coming out. Northeastern using the Minefield beat drop coming out from Ohio University. Trying to see if they can get a pick on Tim, and Kuna does. Able to back up right there. Needs goes down for the Echo as well. Looking for this ball. Water goes down as well to the Woe Whoa is able to get in the back line and do that. Akusor looks like he's getting really close to being brought down, but able to keep himself alive somehow. I saw he was on critical. High University able to get Schlee, and they're going to be moving the bot towards their spawn. They are super close to forward spawn, being able to get that forward spawn. 60 seconds left. This is a 10-minute map, and it's flown by faster than I expected. I'm not going to lie to you.
No, I mean, I haven't been keeping track of time either. It's constant action. I feel like these maps, when you play them, always drag on for so long, but watching it, it's just like...
High University cannot get the forward spawn. Someone has contested it right off the bat. Crazy Man G abandons the bot and lets Northeastern kind of push it a little bit farther away from getting the forward spawn. A little bit of a change from Northeastern University. Doomfist coming out as well as the Zenyatta from Timid. Kind of see how that kind of changes the way that's going on. Pulse Bomb coming out onto the Doomfist, but Doomfist is able to shake that off and keep on fighting. Crazy Man G does have his minefield, which could just be very limiting on moving the bot. I wonder if we're going to see that come out later, or more of a defensive strategy. Considering what's coming out for a Northeastern University. Ohio University does not have it to match. They're going to have to play around this. Caucasus getting brought down to pretty low health. He's getting brought down on both sides. It keeps that alive. Good healing from this Ohio University team. Crazy Man G has used his minefield. See what he can do. Keep them from winning the bot much longer. Akusora does get neat. Tracer on the back line trying to do what he can. A lot of those sticky bombs going on top of the Doomfist. Akusora trying to get this Kiriko before he can, but Transcendence able to keep the team alive. It is now OT. Ohio University is in the lead right now, so they're going to have to win a fight and keep this Northeastern team off the bot for this set a lot of time. But Casino Rush has come out. I am not seeing a lot of picks for either team right now. Slow will bring it down to a pretty low health. Doomfist able to get back on. Everybody for Ohio University is critical. Kuna goes down. Crazy Man G at 300 health and moving up quickly, but he did have Discord all on him. Crazy Man G not letting them move the bot much longer, letting his team recoup. Only ultimate on the board for either team is... Oh, we have two. Beat Drop. We're going to have Minefield, Pulse Bomb, whatever Echoes is called, and Beat Drop, and there's going to be maybe one for Northeastern University. So Ohio University is going to be on the ult advantage for this fight, but gonna have to see how it is. We use Pulse Bomb, but unable to do so. But Meteor Strike did come out, maybe to try to save himself from the Pulse Bomb. Neat and Akusora take the fight towards the sky, and Akusora is the one who loses. Beat Drop coming out as well. Ohio University now, it's now or pretty much never. Crazy Man G close to building up this minefield. He can almost do it. He looks like he does it, and immediately he has not used it yet. But as soon as let's see what he can do. Slow able to pick off Neats from the sky. Crazy Man G still has those minefield waiting for the perfect time to use it. And there it is. Minefield has come out. They're meters and meters away from getting this point for the Northeastern side. Ohio University has to do this or they lose this fight against Northeastern University, and they lose the game. This is do or die for Ohio University. Slowlo does go down to Sleeve. Timmy goes down. Good Sandy Rush coming out from Northeastern University. Ohio University cannot counter right now, but the only person left alive from Northeastern University, I believe, is Doomfist. Ohio University really fighting, shooting him. He cannot mitigate the damage enough. It looks like that's Ohio University's map. Ohio University is able to get Colisio after a fight, after a long, stressful overtime fight. Ohio University able to get the win there after a couple switches from Northeastern University that proved to be not enough as Ohio University makes it 2-2. We're last map, right? I mean, it's first to 3 and it's 2-2, so we're going to be going back. 5. We are going to game 5. It is the first time in the season, and it's in regular season, that Ohio University is going to a game 5. We barely even make it to this push map for game 4, and we're going to game 5. So I'm excited. You can hear the team around me is excited. The people here watching are excited. It's an interesting game. I'm having fun. George, you having fun?
I am having an incredible time here watching these incredible players go back and forth. It's so incredible to get to watch players of this caliber right before your very eyes.
It's wonderful to watch. You don't get to type and see this thing every day. George and I get to watch the metal ranks play a lot of time, and that can be infuriating. But I believe we're going to be on Control Point coming up next, so we will see you after the break. Welcome back to the first and final regular season 5th map for Ohio University in these Overwatch 2 competitive esports against Northeastern. Is a tied for first team as Northeastern with a number 4 team Ohio University right before going into the tournament. So it's not a lot on the stake here besides a little bit of a pride and a little bit of a point to prove for both of these teams. I mean, Northeastern, they could try to break the tie and try to get that first, try to get a better seed against a worser team in the lineup. Ohio University just trying to send a message, really, that we can't go up, we can't go down. We're just here to let everyone know we can play, and we can play pretty well. And so we are 5th map, Lijiang Tower, another control point. Definitely a kind of map and game mode that lends itself towards the play style of both these teams. Am I correct in that assumption, George?
Oh, absolutely. Like we saw in that first map, it's going to probably go again to 99, 99, 99. We're going to see it super tight, super close. I heard kind of before the match, I heard a bunch of one more game kind of chants, and I, as a caster, could not agree more. I don't think my heart can take any more of this. But take it, it's going to have to, because we're going to be diving in about 5 seconds with really similar comps to what we saw in that first cap point map on Eco Point.
I think put a Sojourn on these teams. It's the exact same, but they're the exact same map. Charisma G with a wild rollout. Puts himself on point already, but exact same comp coming up from both teams. A lot of boop opportunities for both teams, but both of them are probably aware and probably have a way to counteract that. Everybody can do everything, but it's just a duck and chase right there. Water almost being the first one there to be a victim towards a boop, able to kind of use the climbing ability to get himself there. Akusora going to be the first one as a victim to a boop. Did not have the flight ability on lockdown. Going to be the first one dead there. Going to be the first one dead. Crazy Manji bring himself away towards trying to get the mega pack, but just decides the Kiriko healing is good enough. Slow, unable to really get himself out of a tough situation. And NEU will be the first one to cap this point. The University is going to get the team back right there. Water using the Suzu and make sure his tank doesn't die very quickly. A lot of fighting on this bridge, a lot of boop opportunities on this bridge. On Ohio University knows that and starts heading towards the right side. Grizzman G puts himself right next to the spawn, right next to it. Tracer, can he get it? Tracer uses recall to get it right there, but that is going to be a lot of abilities from that Tracer gone and unable to use for a couple seconds. Akusora and Neats are taking the fight to the sky right there. Neats is down, Water is down as well, but Slee is kind of in the background right there. Slow-o trying to get some momentum being built, but unable to do so. Kuna goes down to a headshot by Kiriko again. The Kunai are just so dangerous. Slee is going to fight in the background, gets Suzu, so he gets the immortality. Crazy Manji going above the wall to power right down. Woe gets killed by Kuna in the backline. High University is gathered up as a team ready to go. Mindful coming out from Slee trying to stop the approach of High University. Kuna flip from Ohio University. Ohio University able to flip the point, really help the team out right here as 53% for NEU. It was now or never. Considering what's coming out from NEU, but kind of a waste, I would say. They let Ohio University cap point. They let Ohio University win the fight. They let Ohio University kind of get there. Ohio University did use Minefield to kind of secure the point, but able to do a good job. Gets the boop on the Tracer, but Tracer probably recalled to get out of there, but Slee goes down. But Ohio University is going to be pretty much a definitive win for them. They're already at 25% here, and they're going to be only climbing from now. And he's going to have to regroup and get back here from spawn and see what they can do. Kuna taking a couple pot shots at the Echo for some reason, getting like maybe 2 damage with the very short range that the Tracer has to offer. Shlee put himself on our backline, getting about maybe the 3/4 health inside. Decides too late. Timid seeing what he could do as the Lucio. Not very much as he gets brought down. Slee pretty low onto the point right there. Hasn't really just tried to get out of there. Crazy Benji trying to go for a boop, but unable to do so. So he goes down by Kuna right now. Ohio University has officially passed the percentage mark that was set by NEU from the first capture. Crazy Benji waiting. Nobody's trying to go on bridge. No one's really wanting to get booped off map, and I can't blame them.
And all of this off of a pick that NEU didn't even really see or care to stop. We saw Crazy Man G fly in, drop the meteors, and now it's 70% and climbing. And with the way Ohio University likes to play, we're likely going to see a 99 out of this. Big ults coming up from both sides here. NEU climbing, got 3, maybe 4 for the next fight. Here we see the beat drop and both beat drops and the Kitsune from Ohio. Gonna leave them with just Kuna's ult as Echo's ult comes out. She's gonna build up that pulse bomb, throw it out. Not gonna hit anyone though.
Akasora losing his Echo ultimate as the Tracer. Kuna bringing him down pretty low. Akasora finishing up the Kiriko that was brought down pretty low by his fellow teammate, fellow DPS Kuna. Ohio University bring this brought down to 99 health. This is Ohio University. I think this is what they want to do. A lot of proximity mines that was placed down by NEU was just taken out by Charisma G. Kuna bringing down pretty low in a 1v1 situation with Woe, but Kuna gets brought down by Woe as he kind of got double teamed by a little bit by the Tracer. Woe gets 2. Kitsune Rush coming out from NEU. NEU is putting a lot into the camp, but they did use the Echo Wall, which got pretty much deleted immediately by NEU. Charisma G doing what he can, keep them from getting as much as he can, but this will be a point flip for Northeastern University as Ohio University will be making their way towards a point. They do have 99%. Pretty much a team kill wins it. Team fight might not be enough. As that George was saying earlier in the stream, these are two comps that can delay a point flip, an overtime flip for a while, and that's something we're just got to see. As he was saying, Pulse Bomb does come out, gets the whoa, 1 pick. That's all Ohio University needs. They all start hitting the W key at the same time. Alcasor unable to get too much. Kuda gets 2. Slow right underneath the point. Where is Slow going? Slow cannot be able to do too much. Ohio University unable to flip in the middle. Slow and Needs both going down. Timid is super close to being brought down. Charisma G is able to do a Charisma G. Unable for the point. As Slee is able to get there, Woe is able to bring down Water. NEU is able to do a good job. As we were saying, they were able to just jump on point, stay alive. Kuna is trying to fight Woe. Woe is brought down pretty low, but gets Suzu to stay alive. Kuna 16 health, has to just kind of dodge, dip, dive, and dodge, as Kuna does go down to a melee by Woe. Ohio University is preventing this OT. It is now 99-99, just as my fellow George said. Charisma does have Minefield. Minefield coming out almost immediately as soon as he gets it. Alcazor gets Woe. Slee goes down. Slow goes down to a Pulse Bomb. Beat does come out as well. Kuna is able to make his way back to point. The effects of Beat has gone down right there. Neats has gone down. Lucio is super low, and I believe that might be Ohio University's flip. That is Ohio University's flip. Can Ohio University get it? And Ohio University gets the first map of control point, and now that puts NEU right on the back burner. As this next point is do or die for Northeastern University. Ohio University, as George say, 99 to 99. Just a completely drawn-out map for Ohio University and Northeastern as we move on to the second point here. Another map with... No, wait, this is inside, right? No, this is Night Market. Never mind, I was going to say, it's not the map I was thinking of.
I'd like to take a moment here to kind of shout out almost the unsung heroes of our match, right? Slow-O and Water. I feel like a lot of times we see all these crazy kills coming out and all these insane plays, and we don't really keep track of the supports very well. But the reason that these comps work so well and the reason that everybody can stay up and stagger for so long is because of the amazing support from both of these support champions. The amount of healing they're able to dish out and the placements that they put out are just incredible. Now we're going to see a weird switch here onto the Junkrat, but that's immediately going to go down. Maybe not exactly what anyone wants to see.
We do have another weird switch from this Northeastern team if you want to talk about that. As he gets
absolutely.
2 in the back line. Slow-O and Water unable to, just unaware that a Rumacha was right there. But Woe is able to get that pretty even. I think Northeastern might just be in terms of lives a little more, but do they have enough damage to really get Crazy Menji down and down quick is the real question. Crazy Menji able to get one of the kills right there. Ohio University is making the team right back. Somber's going right there and immediately just switches out to Junkrat after a failed first fight. Waterson in the back line trying to do what he can, getting pressured by the Ramacha with the shield, unable to really heal his teammates that need him. Just trying to heal everybody. Everybody is critical. I don't know how he is not just completely anxious about how much critical is going on right there. Alcazor is going down. Nobody has flipped this point. Random headshot by
headshot in the middle of it. How do you...
Water is somehow finding ways to get headshots sometimes I don't think they're possible. QG Hop doing his own on Kuna. This is still anybody's point as Alcazor, as Charisma G just finally brings him live. EMP coming out. What big EMP for Northeastern University as Water's forced to try to save point, but Northeastern University, as we see last time, is going to bring on to the point. NEU does have that ultimate for Ramacha being built pretty soon with the Lucio, who's going to be able to speed boost him closer and closer to his targets. This is going to be a dangerous one. I think that's going to be a little bit more free percent whenever that will be used, unless Ohio University can kite pretty fast out of it. Ramacha uses that ultimate, but is pretty low already. Can Ohio University finish the kill? But he's getting a lot of healing at the same time. So he does go down, but Alcazor goes down at the same time. Kuna is hacked, unable to use his ultimate. Going down. Crazy G is on the point, trying to flip. Considering Rush does come out for a Northeastern, trying to prevent the flip. It looks like they were able to do that pretty well. Crazy G got hacked, and plenty of damage going towards his way right there with Ohio University. Northeastern University switch off the Ramachas I'm seeing right there onto the Doomfist. Considering Rush coming out from Ohio University, but just a lot going on. Maybe just the healing potential. Unable to keep his Echo alive. Ohio University is going to have to retreat again after this another failed fight. A lot of ultimates used, a lot of ultimates kind of wasted for that. Ohio University has let Northeastern climb up to 53%. Let's see what's going on now.
And unfortunately, those ultimates really haven't been coming in clutch for Ohio as they have in previous maps. We're going to see them have about 3 here. We're going to see a big switch. We've seen a lot of switches. I mean, look, the Junkrat's gone into a Sombra, and the Ramatra's now a Doomfist. But we also now have a Brigida. Maybe going to see that new ult try and stop some kind of dive.
Brigida goes down pretty quickly into that fight. Ohio University going to have to find something that works for him now, as this map's going down pretty low. Kiriko is right in front of Akusor, and it's pretty low. Sleaze goes down, nice pulse bomb by Kuna. We do see Akusor using his ability to try to use the EMP of Neat, but unable to do so. He gets just shot out of it right before he's able to relocate with that pulse bomb coming out on Slow-Wo. Slow-Wo's died twice pretty early on both fights. Kuna takes out Woe. It's not Crazy Man G is going to have to be on touch point and keep this team alive. What's going on, but it is not the end of the world. Ohio University is not capped here, but it is something that they need to do as Ku can get on point. Kun is able to get on point, but not for very long. If he goes down, Crazy Man G is hacked. He's going to get a lot of damage on him very quickly. Does not have his shield ability at the moment. And Ohio University loses that point as we go into literally the last map for all the marbles. Everything doesn't matter. It's this last Lijiang Tower map. As Ohio University needs to find an answer to the changes that Northeastern made. Northeastern, reminiscent of the first map to Blizzard World, right?
Absolutely.
Ohio, close, really close. Ohio University able to pull out the win there, but Northeastern changes. Changes the situation, what they're going to do, and Ohio University just can't recover, can't make a plan, can't sit down and be like, all right, they did this, we're going to do that. They're not doing that as quick as we've kind of seen NAU do. But now that Ohio University kind of had a point to think about it, maybe we'll kind of see a different outcome here. But here's the map I was talking about. This has boop potential all day.
Absolutely, which is going to make it a perfect final map for us for the night and for the entire playoff season. Here it is.
Regular season.
Regular season.
Final regular season map point right here for Ohio University and Northeastern University. We can see what's going on. Kuna almost being a victim. Slow-Wo able to use the pilot drop to his favor, gets Sleed down and out of the fight quickly and early on. Ohio University pressing W keys. See what they can do, how many picks they can get. Suzu was left on the table, so QG Hop goes down pretty early, looking to see if we can get the pick on Woe. Woe was able to get to that mini pack right there and get the pack. Water gets a headshot on Needs. Ohio University for the first time, and Lijiang is able to get the point first and get the percentage first after a nice boot from Slow-Wo on Schlee. Timid is down pretty low already. Kuna's able to finish off the kill right there with the help of his team right there. Slee is taking all the attention away. Kuna is Menji's hacked once again, bringing himself into the corner, able to use his abilities, but does have that increased damage onto him right there. University still keep control of this point pretty well. Nice pick on Timid early on in the fight. Kind of keeps him at NEU at the bay. Water being booped off, but able to use his swift step to get back on. Uses Kitsune. Do we have another fall from Schleers? Looks like he's going to be using his abilities to get back there. We do have a boop going off on the Sombra, but she has Translocator to go right there. Chrisman G in a kind of a predicament, but able to kind of get out of there alive. Finding the Timid. Schlee again gets off the side. Schlee again finds himself down to environmental. That's two times we see it right there. Needs to able to go down to slow. He uses his wall rise to really just dodge, dip, dive, dodge, and dip once again to really get the kill there. Pulse Bomb coming out by someone right there. Unable to do anything there. Looks like that was any used Pulse Bomb. Akusor looks like he'll be going down right there to Schlee as Schlee finishes off with a melee. Slow-Wo trying to best his can to keep his team moving, keep his team alive. Timid goes down again pretty early in this fight. Crazy Man G just being a menace again, booping again. Schlee's on point, but he's brought down pretty low and is trying to get out of there. No more shield left from his ultimate, from his ability. Akusor making his way back towards the fight. NEU has 2 ultimates coming up on 4. University has 3 coming up on 5. So this next couple fights going to be insane as NEU uses the minefield and Continue Rush. Boop coming on 4. Ohio University. Crazy Man G in a bad spot. He's getting a lot of damage onto him right there, but able to make his way out of right there. Puts himself back on the point. Are we going to see the minefield come out? Looks like minefield will not be coming out for Ohio University. Slow-Wo goes down. Crazy Man G goes down. Looks like this will be a point flip for Northeastern University, but Ohio University getting 94% and 4 ultimates on the board for them. NEU used 2 in that fight, have 2 remaining on the board.
Obviously not what you want to see from Ohio here, but this, again, I feel like tactical retreat almost. Jumping off so they can save these ultimates, get ready, and hopefully do this all in one fell push, because all they need is 1 take. That's it. They need 1 flip and they win.
Right there, we get a hack on about, I believe that's just Akusor who got hacked right there. Needs goes down. Water goes down as well. 1-1 pick Pulse Bomb coming out from Ohio University, unable to get anybody as Kuna goes down to low. Chris G got Timid, looks, not that's Timid, that's Slow. Timid is on point, facing a Chris G by himself. Ohio University, plenty of time. Don't really need to invest these ults if they don't have to. It looks like that might be the plan here. Ohio University slowly building up a team again. 3 ultimates on the board. Slow going down pretty early into this fight. I think Ohio University is going to do a tactical retreat, missing missing one of their kind of their dive partners, dive team. A little bit of everything as Slow gets picked up pretty fast.
We're kind of jumping on Crazy Man G there. The ultimate gonna miss from Woe. That's gonna be an investment that they may not be able to.
Woe runs under a pretty low health, but Akusor is not paying too much attention, trying to put all of his damage on Shlee. And Shlee is feeling it right there. We see again electing to pick off the Sombra with the Echo ultimate, trying to see if they can build up EMP in time for it to be used. Shlee is brought down to a pretty low health. Ohio University gets killed. Looks like he cannot. Agusora brought down pretty low with the ability. Has EMP but cannot be able to use it. NEU able to do a pretty good job.
Not been able to land a single one of those this entire
Chris
match. Every
able
time.
to get Timid right there. Really low. Looks like Ohio University was able to flip it. They're at 97. Shlee is down 98, 99, 100. Ohio University win. Ohio University with a nice flip and a nice minefield from Crazy Man G, able to get that final couple 6% that they needed to beat, tied for first, Northeastern University in a statement win as we head into the playoffs as the 4th seed, and that brings Northeastern down a notch. As you see, the team right there, happy to win. They've been thinking about this all week and all their scrims. They've been thinking, they've been talking, they've been wanting to do what they wanted to do. And I think that might be one of the best we've seen this team play this year. And what a way to end the regular season. You have plenty of momentum going into this playoffs. And I'm going to be here. I might not be at this table, but I'll be here in this room. I'll be watching them play, and I'm excited to watch it. George, what do you got?
What don't I got? I mean, we saw incredible changes from Ohio going into that 3rd point. We saw them come into this 1st point. They knew what they wanted to do. They came in, they saw they conquered, and they took it out. Really good ultimate placements. That 2nd map, they just couldn't get comfortable, whether it was the switches from NEU or their inability to just kind of put themselves in the right spot. They couldn't pull it off. But then that 3rd map, right? I mean, we saw really great ults. We saw them take that point early. I think the rollouts from Crazy Man G out of spawn have a great deal to do with that, getting the point first and kind of forcing NEU to attack onto them instead of be able to defend from the point or get there at the same time. I also think, again, the supports, the ability to keep everybody alive long enough to contend with NEU was able to net them the ability to get those kills and close out the game.
I do have to shout out the boop on Shlee by Slowo. I believe he got credited. I don't know if the 2nd time, but Shlee died twice to environmental, and both those deaths were integral to the win for Ohio University in that 3rd point. But George and I are going to keep it nice and sweet so we can go back there and celebrate. All right, you go with that?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Please.
All right. We will see you guys later.